Thanks for stopping by. This is our third and final video for our CFM6 billing series. So let's get started. In this video, we will show you how to create a payment and create an adjustment or credit to an invoice. Let's start with showing you how to quickly pull up an invoice. We will go to Billing Tools, select Jump to Invoice, or just click your F4 key on the keyboard. Type in the invoice number and hit enter. And there you go. We're in invoice number 47 under My Forwarding account. To create a payment, click on the Payments tab. Click on this New Payment button, and it opens this dialog box where you can enter the check number and the date of the check. Now let's say the customer sent us a check worth of $1,100. The check number with, and the date is for today. And then on the check it shows that it is for invoices number 45, 44, 43, and 42. So there are three ways to apply a payment. One is by highlighting a line and clicking this Pay Line button. Another way is to pay the entire invoice. Let's say this invoice 45 as an example. It has 3 shipments. We highlight one of them and we click this Pay Invoice button, and as you can see, all of the 3 lines were paid. And lastly, you go into the payment column and apply the payment from there. Let's use this line for example, the one that has a total of $20.10. And I will type in the exact amount. And as you see, it zeroed out the line balance. And this is also the field where you can enter the short pays, and I can show that to you later on in this video. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of the check to invoice number 43 and 42. And as you see, we have an unapplied amount of $16.85. You can hit this Save button. You get this notification, and we can create an open credit for this account. And as you see, the invoices that we have paid have disappeared from the Show Open Invoices screen. And we also have an unapplied funds of $16.85. So let's go ahead and manage our unapplied funds. Let's click that link. It shows us the check number and the check total. We can double click that to take us back to the payment application screen. Now as you see, we have 2 new options. You can either issue a refund to this customer or apply funds to new lines. And let's say this customer wants us to apply the remaining unapplied amount to new invoices. So we will go ahead and click that Apply Funds to New Lines link. And we now have the open invoices added to this screen. Now for invoice number 46, the total amount is $17. And we only have $16.85. We can go directly into the Pay column and enter in the $16.85. And there is still 15 cents left for this invoice. You can go ahead and save this. If you would like to credit off the 15 cents for invoice number 46, you can go to the Payments tab and Adjustment/Credit. In this dialog box, we have 3 options. We can either create an adjustment to any open invoices, or to this selected invoice, or a payment adjustment to this invoice. We're going to click the one in the middle, and it opens this adjustment screen. We will enter our credit type and our comment, and it is optional. So here's the line that has the 15 cent balance. We can just highlight it and hit this adjust line. And we still have that second option to adjust the entire invoice if you have more than 1 shipment on that invoice that you need to adjust. Okay, once everything is all set, you can click the Save button, and that invoice drops off from our Open Invoices screen, and it's now in our Paid Invoices screen. Now that we have credited that 15 cents, we can also generate our credit memo. To do that, we will go into the Payments tab of that invoice, select the adjustment, and click this printer drop-down and credit memo. So you would normally attach this together with the invoice and send it to your customer. Now that we have applied the credit and the check, we can now post the transactions. Posting them will prevent you from modifying it. To post payments and credits, go to Process, Batch Post Payments. So we have this box, and as you can see, we still have the filters up here. Now in this section, you can specify the payment date range, which is essentially the check date, and only post those transactions. Now by default, all payments and adjustments within this date range will be posted. If you only wanted to post either the payment or adjustment, simply choose them from here. Now let's hit post. And now we got the confirmation that the payments were posted. Now let's talk about our cash management system. This option allows you to add the full amount of the check and manage unapplied funds that we have worked with earlier. Now by default, this option is not enabled. And as you can see, if I apply a payment, there is no field to enter the full amount of the check. And now to enable this, you will go to File, System Setup, Company Setup, Configuration, and check the Cash Management System box. Save. And now let's go over our batch payment system. Enabling this option allows you to manage the checks you have received from all of your customers and post them all at once. You can enable this by going to File, System Setup, Company Setup, Configuration, and checking the Use Payment Batch System. To create a payment batch, we will go to Process, Manage Payment Batch. In this window, we will click the New Batch button, rename the batch name, you can enter the expected total if you'd like, or just save the batch. Once the batch is saved, you can now start applying payments. Click this Add New Payment button, search for your customer, and it will take us to the payment screen. Now once again, we will enter the check number, the total of the check, and then apply to the selected line. Once applied, just hit Save. Now we can enter another check for a different customer. Once again, the check number, check date, total, and apply it. But first, let me show you this option in this payment screen where you can hit Control F on your keyboard and it will bring you this search box so you can search for a particular bill number and apply a payment to it. For example, I got this 105845. It will help you filter out the invoices that are not under this check. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just pay this invoice and save it. And now you see we have 2 lines in this payment batch now. Before we post this, let's enter the expected total of the checks, which is $216.40, and simply post the batch. And that completes our payment application process. Lastly, let's go over dunning notices as well as account aging reports and how to process them. We will set it up under File, Customers, Com Imaging, and add a new service, Batch Email Report, and you can select the report you wish to send. Enter the email address in this field and hit Save, and save the customer account. We can also do a bulk update to attach the service to all of your customers or certain customers at once. So you will select communications in the type of service, select the customers or select all, click on process, and do the same step as far as selecting which type of report you want to send to your customers. Then simply hit save. Now these reports can be processed under reports, batch email gallery, and in this example we are going to use the dunning notices and detail. Here's where you can set the details for your dunning as well as creating a template. Click the edit text, you enter the header and the footer, then you save it. So prior to generating the report, you will select the template you created. You can generate it for all of your customers or for a certain one, and hit run report. Then you will get this message that there are emails pending in the queue. Just hit yes. Now it takes you to the process batch screen. You can add more emails in this recipient column. And if you would like to delete a line, simply click on it and click the delete key on your keyboard and hit yes. You can select which emails you would like to send or select all. And finally, just hit the run reports to send it to your customer. And that concludes our CFM6 billing video series. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.